Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have a brand new press release from Palantir. This one actually came out last week, I think on Thursday, but we're covering it now since there was so much news we didn't have a chance to cover it then, which is a new partnership with AIP. Kaz Investments, an investment firm based in Houston, is partnering with AIP. This is an interesting one. Kaz is not the biggest company in the world, but they are a company that's leveraging AIP. I'm assuming they probably were clients with Palantir with Foundry a while ago, and they decided to make the upsell to AIP. I want to talk about the press release in this video and discuss why they're using Palantir, and then I want to discuss more broadly some of the other use cases any type of investment firm like a Kaz Investments would be using Palantir for, and what the growth opportunity and market opportunities for Palantir to be able to capitalize on this. So, Kaz Investments, a Houston-based investment manager, and Palantir, a leading builder of operating systems for the modern enterprise. I love saying that. Today announced a 5-year partnership for Palantir to provide its AIP platform in support of Kaz's growth and innovation. It's interesting that it's 5 years. It seems like either they got a good deal on it, or Palantir wanted to secure them for 5 years, or they were like, you know what, we love you guys so much, we might as well just sign a 5-year deal. Don't know why it's 5 years versus 3 years or 7 years, but it's a 5-year partnership, which is not too bad. Palantir will provide Kaz with AI-powered solutions to accelerate partner onboarding and augment investment managers' work with generative AI. We are literally seeing AI everywhere. The use of Palantir software aims to help Kaz automatically scale operations and meet growing demand. AIP will offer Kaz executives a next best action system to identify and recommend opportunities or content to improve retention and service to its partners, among other use cases, allowing it to provide differentiated investment services to its partners as it embarks on a crucial expansion period. Some quotes: "The last few years have marked unprecedented growth for Kaz and a dramatic increase in demand and access to our curated opportunities," Christopher Zook, the founder and CIO of Kaz Investments, says. "We are excited to partner with the talented team at Palantir to ensure that we are able to scale our business for exponential growth, harnessing the power of AI to transform our processes." And notice he's saying we're partnering with the team at Palantir. He's not saying we're just procuring their software, because Palantir is actually a technology partner for a lot of these companies that are trying to have transformational growth and value within the organization outside of just downloading a software and plugging it into their system. Kaz is embarking on a remarkably ambitious AI transformation that will put exceptional demands on AIP. "These are the partners we are looking for," said Daniel Weller, head of financial services at Palantir. So Daniel is the guy that handles all the financial clients. "We are proud to deploy Palantir AIP at Kaz, bolstering AI transformation." They then go on to say Palantir's tech is being used in a lot of cases, but here what they say about Kaz's investment proprietary research processes and global network identifies thematic investment opportunities across public and private markets. The Kaz team reviews 1,500 private investments in a typical year, but usually invest in approximately 10 to 12. I'm assuming the 10 to 12 they're doing are high level, 40, 50, maybe even multi-$100 million deals, because they're only investing in 10 out of 12 out of 1,500. Among Kaz Investments' guiding principles is that it will align its interests with its partners, meaning that the firm is the first investor in every opportunity it presents to the network. This means that the individual investors and investment advisors alike can participate knowing that Kaz is directly aligned with their success or with one of their clients. This is an interesting partnership. I didn't expect to see a press release with Kaz Investments. I actually looked back on Palantir's AIPCon. They had a slide where Kaz's Investments logo was on the slide. So they were signaling that Kaz Investments is using AIP, but this is the company that they chose to do an official press release. I believe out of the 150 clients they have over the next year, especially going into 2024, we're going to see a lot of these names that we saw on the actual press release at AIP show up in these other official press releases, whether they're 3-year, 5-year, 7-year contracts, whatever they may be. So the Kaz one is really interesting to me. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how I think a company like Kaz could be using Palantir. So what we were introduced to when it comes to Kaz Investments is there are private investors, public investors. They invest in different funds, ETFs. They review a lot of different deals. And essentially what Palantir is trying to do is operationalize their workflow so that when they use generative AI, the partners in particular, they can find better opportunities, scout better opportunities, understand better market trends, and ultimately make better decisions. So here's a couple of ways that I wrote down for why Kaz could be using Palantir. But this is applicable to all financial services in the suite of financial companies that exist that could be potentially using something like a Palantir. If you take it to the higher levels, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, really like wealth management divisions, investment banking divisions at companies that are trying to figure out how to make the right opportunities for investing, they could be using something like this for Palantir. Number one, market trend analysis for investment decisions. So Kaz Investments could utilize Palantir to pull real-time market data, historical performance metrics, and news events, so like breaking news that's happening right now, to predict future trends in various asset classes or individual securities. The Bank of Japan saying that they're not going to raise interest rates, so that has an impact on bond yields, right? Like, how do you understand that in real time? That could be something like Palantir. This could be achieved by integrating multiple data sources and utilizing machine learning algorithms to spot patterns or anomalies that might not be apparent to human analysts, which is obviously a very big competitive advantage when it comes to making investment decisions. Another one is portfolio risk management. Obviously, Palantir's data analytics could offer deep insights into the risk profiles of various investment vehicles in a portfolio. So you can combine things like macroeconomic indicators, company fundamentals, market sentiment, obviously breaking news, and then be able to assess whether this is the right strategy to go down. Is this the right risk to take? Is this too risky? And then make those decisions, whether it takes a lot of time to make those decisions or a short amount of time. You can make those decisions fairly quickly or over a different time frame because you have the software in place. And sometimes you need a longer time frame to be able to make these decisions. Other times you need to make them within milliseconds if you're using high frequency trading algorithms. Another thing is compliancy and regulatory reporting. We just saw Citadel get a $7 million fine by the SEC. They made hundreds of millions in essentially what amounts to security fraud, but they paid their little $7 million parking ticket to the SEC. We saw JP Morgan pay $920 million, little bit bigger, parking ticket back in 2020 for illegal market making activities. At the end of the day, this money is in a lot of these firms, but having better compliance and regulatory reporting, making sure whether it's taxes, insider trading, making sure you dot your I's and cross your T's, all of that stuff being integrated into an ontology so that that data is not siloed and you're more efficient via something like generative AI to make sure that happens. JP Morgan might be able to pay $920 million. I doubt Cow's Investments can do that. So they have to make sure everything is auditable and legal and traced back to the law. A couple other things. Client relationship management, because this is an investment firm. Palantir can integrate data from multiple touch points in the client lifecycle, from onboarding to ongoing interactions and investment performance. They can analyze that data. Cow's Investments can gain a deeper understanding of their client's risk tolerance, investment objectives, their past behaviors to determine what they want to do in the future. And it's essentially more personalized insight that can be used to make better investment decisions. The reason why I wrote this one down is because the way I see YouTube and Instagram in the world of AI, and Meta even said this on their earnings call, is they are spending a lot of money on AI to fuel their recommendation engine, because if they can recommend a better video to you, you're going to stay on the platform for longer. Same thing in the context of Cow's Investments. If they can recommend a better stock to their clients, a better strategy for their clients, a better trajectory or course of action for their clients are likely going to keep their money with Caz and let them continue to invest it to be able to make more money in the future. Final thing is operational efficiency and cost management. So by leveraging Palantir, Caz investors can optimize their internal operations. So think of things like mundane tasks, right? Paper, filing different things, faxing things, even though I don't know if anyone faxes anymore, but if they did have to fax, you could argue, Palantir could help them send those emails, data analytics, optimizing workflow processes, identifying cost saving opportunities. There's a lot of mundane tasks that happen within a small business that you're trying to ultimately figure out. Leveraging generative AI to automate those processes or build different AIP agents, like we saw the HCA healthcare presentation be able to do, solving much more bigger problems, but those different agents can be essentially combated throughout the entire organization to solve the larger problems, go into combat that they have using generative AI. Small things that an investment firm can do, but you would wonder the 5-year opportunity. If they're going to do an entire 5-year partnership, they're probably going to try to use this in every part of their workflow. And it's not just for the big decisions like which stock do we buy, but also for the stupid mundane tasks that have to go with all the regulatory procedures and audible things that they have to do when it comes to buying a stock for a client. If you're in a traditional investment firm, it's not that easy as just buying it on Robinhood. So I think operational efficiency, cost management, client relationship management, compliance and regulatory reporting, portfolio risk management, market trend analysis, there's just so many different ways that Caz Investments could use Palantir. The press release was pretty vague in terms of how they're using Palantir. They didn't really describe why they're using Palantir or like how they're going to use it, other than generative AI is going to make them better. I think if you go deeper under the hood, there's a lot of different ways overall an investment firm like Caz could be using Palantir, as I described in the video. Now, the bigger bull case of this is banks, right? Like we talked a long time ago that if the Fed had something like Palantir and they could figure out that inflation was happening earlier, or they could figure out what's the best interest rate to actually create for an economy, right? Because you just have all this real-time data, like actually real-time data, not lagging indicators like rents that are 6 months behind. You could really make better decisions. Now, maybe the Fed doesn't want to be data-driven, but if Palantir is able to do this for investment firms and sign a 5-year partnership with them, I don't know how much this is worth, but I would imagine it's in the millions over these 5 years that Caz is going to be paying AIP, especially if they're using it to make a crap ton of money for their clients. how could other banks use this? We've not seen that much news about big banks outside of RBC, the Royal Bank of Canada, using Palantir, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. Like these big banks in the United States, Wells Fargo, we haven't heard of them actually using Palantir. Ironically, Truist, which is a stock I'm bullish on, ticker symbol TFC, a regional bank, also the 6th largest bank in the United States by deposits, is using Palantir. Truist.palantirfoundry.com. Now, the link works. Does that mean they're actually using them? I have no idea, but the link does work, and so that's a cool thing that the link is working to go into their Truist Palantir Foundry login. So it would be interesting to see if a bank like Truist is using Palantir to optimize their entire business. Could other banks be using Palantir? And again, that's the bull case for Palantir. You put their software in an industry, let that software permeate, and you could have every single major player in that industry having to use their software and literally getting better as a company because they're using their software. Banks, financial firms, investment firms, no exception to that. So ultimately, we'll see how Palantir is able to scale in the financial services sector. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching. Let me know how you think Palantir could scale in investment firms and overall banks and where you see the market opportunities for them. And I'll see you guys in the next one.